All right, popped in, all good. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Thursday's Weekly Access Stream. My name is Sammy, and we're gonna bring you another King of the Hill exhibition. Thank you guys for joining me once again. I'm really excited for this one to bring you guys some undernight action right before Texas Showdown. I know that's starting out tomorrow. I'm really excited to sit and stream monster that with you guys. But let's get you warmed up a little bit, huh? Let's get some good players in. Let's watch some good undernight. I'm really excited for this. So please, thank you guys for joining me. I'm really looking forward to this one because it's just gonna be some players I really admire, some players I think are super good coming into this one, and we're just gonna have some fun, watch some cool undernight. Well, I mean, I don't know what can be better than that, honestly. If you want to know what the rules are, we've done a few of these before, but these are the rules for the King of the Hill exhibition. So it's first to 12 points, and each game will grant you 1 point. So you win a game, you get a point, and it's arcade style. So that means that, you know, it's not a 2 out of 3. You're not playing sets. Put a quarter in. If you win, you stay on. If you lose, you go back. If you make it around the entire 4 set of people, then you will be put into the back of the line, but you also receive an extra point as compensation. The reason why I created this rule is because momentum in fighting games is a very big deal. We've all seen it in tournaments that we've watched, where the momentum has the ability to take players above and beyond the tournament. And that's not a bad thing, but in the sake of creating more games and the hope for a little bit more variety, this rule is hopefully gonna help people sort of normalize the level of gameplay that they create, and hopefully create a little bit more of an even playing field. You know, when people get hot, sometimes they'll just take it all the way. Hopefully this means we could watch a little bit more undernight with this sort of rule. And then very standard, if you win, just like arcade style, your character's locked. If you lose, you can pick whatever character coming in. I know that you guys know all of these players that are coming in to the tournament, and I haven't mentioned any of them just yet, but you know that all of these players are known for 1 or 2 characters, and I have not given them any stipulation or rule in terms of which characters that they should be using. I just want them to have fun, so hopefully we get to see some cool picks like we did last week, or last month, I should say. We saw some really cool picks last month, so I'm pretty excited to hopefully maybe see some cool stuff this time around as well. But yeah, I'm actually looking into ways. I know there's ways you can play keyboard mouse on Xbox One, so I'm gonna try to avoid it, but if it doesn't happen, there will be a portion where I play on controller again. That will be dangerous. So we get to this first one. Got Lotus and Suna coming up. Don't get to see this matchup very often. Although Hilda's kind of a more popular character as Claire's come around, it's not a lot of as much Ori play. As Lotus really tries to test Suna. So we start out here. There's a lot of patient play here. We're gonna really waiting for that 100-meter. Yeah, and just spent it. Knew where you're gonna win the cycle. All right, high dive kick, so we kept it safe with the super. Suna will definitely take that, especially considering Hilda is can be, I should say, a very meter efficient character. Oof. Fake high, go low. Where's Suna from? Columbus, Ohio. Unless things have changed recently. Set up, go for that 50-50. Oh, wasn't able to combo the spike into it, but still in a really good position here. As soon as looking for that first hit, there it is. Gets to hit the super. Unfortunately, a very awkward position, so wasn't able to get that full combo, but the grid break there is going to do wonders. This most certainly means that Suna's going to be able to get the cycle. Wake up super for the trade. Nice. The corner positioning has been really good for Sun. A little bit of a delayed veil off there. Oh, wasn't able to clean it up, but the overhead pin's going to do it. And that's going to be the first one, is going to Lotus. Oh. Hope you guys are having a good Thursday, by the way. Sorry I haven't said hi to anybody coming in, but I was trying to get all of the words out before we were getting started. And I appreciate everybody coming through. I was right. Okay, I was right. Columbus, Ohio. I was making sure I didn't... there wasn't a move that I didn't know about. Unfortunately, that happened with Knots last month when I did the Texas thing. Because I did not know that he moved all the way over to the Midwest or to Texas. COVID times are weird. COVID times are weird. Woo! Alright. Star grounding. Oof. I'm very surprised that Star decided to back up there, but maybe just didn't feel comfortable in that position without putting direct offense on Hilda. A lot of zoning. Wow, second hit's actually the one that hit him. So at least it didn't knock him down. That's all that matters in that position. There you go. Gets the cycle. Star's going to go in. Spends the chain shift early in the cycle, trying to find the hit. Grim Reaper works out. He does have 200 meter. Oi. Wasn't able to get the full combo here. Nice backdash. Star is trying to find those moments where he can push Lotus into the corner, but it is becoming very difficult as Lotus finds that last hit, that all-important last hit. 200 meter going into this, though. Yeah, Lotus definitely knowing that he has to respect the 200 meter, and Gordo almost has to go for that just as a check. This is going to be a long haul, right? So gotta establish that you want to have the Hilda player sit down. Oh, caught the backdash. Yeah, spin the super while you have it. Oh no! Got broken out of the air. Wake up super. Good read from Star. Chain shift. Gets the combo. Yes! Nice combo too. 3.5. Very nice. Nice block on the overhead as well. Good reaction from Lotus as well. Finding their moment. Lotus being very, very patient with how they're pressing buttons here. That was super good. Lotus basically understanding that the way that Star was going to get in there was going to be that he found Vorpal and then he went in with the use of chain shift and meter. So that was really, really just sort of a very impressive way to hold the neutral down for a second, making it pretty difficult to find that shield that was going to help him win the Vorpal cycle. And even as so far as going to just not doing anything and concentrating towards the end there. Oh, caught the backdash. Oh, that's unfortunate. We get the first setup here. Just for a throw there. Nice forward tech. Puts him in the blender. But, oh, wasn't able to get the full combo. It's going to be a big win for Noctis if he could find that hit while he has Vorpal. That improved Rusty Nail does wonders in this matchup. But it is one of those situations where it is still very hard to use, even if it is good. Plus frames, good defense. Tech on the gold throw. Oh, the green shield actually pushed out a little bit farther than Noctis expected, and yeah, just took that time to do that dive kick. Red missed to death. Gonna chase the tech down in the corner. Nice shield into the 2A. Good reactions from Lotus. Meter efficient, meter spent. Oh no, a little bit late, but it ended up being a setup anyway. And that means Lotus is going to take it. So hopefully Lotus remembers and get Lotus to switch out on this one. Yes. It's nothing against the players. I'm always just constantly afraid that my rule set is so stupid that nobody is going to remember it. That is literally it. But I don't know why I think that, because literally every time I've ran this King of the Hill, almost everybody has been very attentive of the rule set. I wasn't able to combo off this ult. But Suna able to win the first cycle here. That's going to be a pretty big deal. He spends it early on, finds the green shield and the break. Woo, hard read. Going for the B assimilation there. Suna's going to take advantage. Oi, very nice. Oh, wasn't able to get the full combo, unfortunately. But that grid break's going to cycle out Vorpal once again in Suna's favor. 2C. That's a good button. But not going to give Star that much room, as unfortunately Suna runs right into the Rusty Nail. Woo! Okay. Hard reads. I see it. Definitely not a bad idea, considering that KotH does have those command grabs. Falls out, full combo, but unfortunately wasn't able to fully complete it there. Round start, counter hit 3C. Meter spent on it. Nice tech. Oh yeah, and the grid break. That was honestly the most important part, is that Suna is going to be able to get the cycle coming up here. Oof, tipper on the 3C. Wasn't able to capitalize off it. Second hit, wasn't able to capitalize off it quite yet, but Star does have CS, gonna spend it right there, uses it to go for the mix-up. There it is, the hard read on the assimilation. It's gonna get a full combo off it. Does have 200 meter, and that's gonna be it. Very ballsy to go for that Ori 3C. It's definitely a hard read there, but it's one of those things where it's like, you got to establish it to some degree, right? You got to let the KotH player know that you will do something like that, so they can't just immediately do their mix-up. See a much more of an active start here from Noctis. I wasn't able to get the full combo, but gets a hit to throw towards the corner. Ori is going to love that as soon as takes the Vorpal. Spends it early on. I really like that early on spends. There was a lot of shields from Noctis, but that would have given Suna the ability to fight for that cycle once again. Unfortunately, got hit in the middle of that one, so wasn't able to fully play around with it as Noctis takes advantage. Meter spent. There we go. Nice throw tech. Oh, and the shield saves the day. Doesn't spend it. Very cheeky from Noctis there with no meter backed up and just the CS. Suna waiting for that chain shift. on the blocked Grim Reaper, and it just didn't happen. Very, very cheeky, but definitely something you can do. Oh, finds the hit. Going for the nice combos here. Puts him in the corner. Sona has an opportunity to take advantage here, and he does. Side switches as well. A little benefit from Aurier being able to poke in that situation with meter. Finds the overhead. There you go, and I like ending that combo early. That way we can play the cycle once again. Nice block on the double overhead. But Noctis still able to take the cycle. This is going to be huge for trying to close this out, especially with 200 meter. Oh, tried to footsie there with the 4B. Little bit out of range. There you go. And oh, didn't kill. I expected IOX there, but reaction to the shield is going to use the command grab, and that's going to be 2-0 on the round count for Noctis. I do really like looking at I mean, I think Gordeau players are gonna hate me for saying this, but I do actually really like watching the Gordeau and Hilda matchup, because I do think it's a very interesting matchup, or at least from the perspective of a Gordeau player. You have to change so much about how you have to play in order to operate in this matchup, and I think, and you know, Gordeau players are gonna hate that. But as a spectator, it's very interesting. Nice backdash. Uses that time to get forward. Nice snipe out of the air with the Grim Reaper as well. The position definitely important here. That's something that Gordeau players are going to fight for early on. Ooh. I like that from Noctis, trying to bait responses. Assault JB. Good situation to be in, especially with CS. Plus frames, plus frames. There you go. Force the situation. And the huge grid break. That was basically going to be Lotus's saving grace there. Is getting that cycle. And the grid break basically sealed the deal for Noctis. Gotta spend it. Tried to get a little bit fancy there on the round start. Nice tech. That grid meter is definitely the thing to think about for Noctis. But so hard to do something about. Yeah, if you're Noctis, you're thinking about so many things in that situation. Thinking about not getting hit. You're looking at your head. You're looking at the grid meter. So difficult. Teleport in. Gotta get the hit. Nice combo. Almost fully picks it up. It's gonna award, or is gonna be impressed with Noctis. I was gonna be impressed with Noctis, who was... Sorry, impressed with Lotus, who found that hit very cleanly with the 2A and like max range 2A, and did not do back-to-back 2A rebeat or chains. So we see Star mixing it up a little bit with the Byakuya. I don't blame Gordeau players trying to avoid this matchup. Like I said, I like it. I like watching it. When I was learning Gordeau, I definitely did not like playing it, so I don't blame them. I will say that this character definitely, I would say what the thing you're giving away from Gordeau is that you're giving away the ability to force the situation with resources, but you are getting the ability to be much more aggressive on Oki. So that is interesting. Papa Pesto, I don't know if I blame him. The matchup sucks, and it's not fun to play. And he used the super there, a little bit of a concentration there. Just making approaching a living nightmare. Oh, tried to get in there at that preferred range, but Lotus already holding pin. Byakuya can bait VO and force function way better. Absolutely. I definitely believe that as well. Just gonna use that time to concentrate and steals Vorpal. Definitely doesn't feel that good. There you go. Finally gets that Vorpal cycle. And has a little bit of health, can tank a combo, so there you go, goes for it. Oh, doesn't get the veil off, immediately spends that super. That's going to be the cycle going to Lotus because of that veil off. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those things for sure where it's about what you value in the matchup, right? If you value the ability to spend resources in a game like Under Night to force the ability to put someone on their butt for just a second, then you're giving up the ability to increase your damage or maybe increase your mix-up potential, right? Especially with a character like Gordeau, 100 meter means a lot. A character like Byakuya, who really builds a lot of meter on their combos, doesn't really have the ability to force their way in the same way. So through blocking and everything like that and approaching and getting hit, they should probably have 100 meter by the time they find their way in on a Hilda player. And they're just really hoping to bait the defensive options at that point. Oh, sees the red miss to death. Unfortunately, a character that doesn't really have good ways to deal with it. You only need 35. Right. Byakuya builds so much meter just doing combos. Oh, got the cycle, but unfortunately, Lotus recognized that he could snipe Suna right then and there. Can't take that cycle with you to the next round as we start all fresh. Lotus with no meter, but obviously content with securing that round with it. Overhead, gonna use that time to get almost 3 bars in Grin meter during concentration. Big hit for Suna as he's able to not only take cycle, but also take positioning on the screen. Good throw. Going back in there. Yeah, just gonna spend the chain shift, trying to see what Lotus is gonna do, but unfortunately still got hit. Corner positioning for them. Super became used for Oki instead of damage. Ooh, veil off just in the nick of time, but was able to anti-air while Suna was still there. Doesn't have the meter to clean this up just yet. Suna gets one more chance. Gonna spend it right there. Veil-off got stalled out for just a second and wasn't able to spend any of that super meter to get in. Lotus takes a lap once again. Oops. There we go. So, Star versus Noctis. Star choosing to avoid the matchup, or the mirror match, I should say. Avoiding the most honest matchup, the most even mirror known to man. Understandable. Well, a little bit far for that assimilation. Oh, finds the snipe on the Gordeau boots. Gonna be really happy about that. We got that first 100-meter going and the CS. Doesn't even need it that time. Arrow still going for mix-ups, almost hitting that 200-meter. Used the CS so well to catch the veil off. Veil off to return late in the cycle as well. Both players gonna go down to the next round with 0 meter, but only Star coming out with the first round dub. Unable to finish the combo there. No cancel. Oi! Coming out of block with that 2C. Such a good button. Pressure once again. CS, unfortunately, late in the cycle, so kind of gave it up to Noctis. But finds the hit here. That's going to be a really big deal. We're going to spend a lot of this cycle basically not being able to use that CS. And I think that's what Star's looking for right here. The use of the CS late in the cycle. Why not? You're not winning it. You might as well get any little meter you're going to be able to get out of it. And footsied out with the force function. Ooh, nice tech. After the double pump fake. Anti-air veil off. Trying to expect, I think, trying to be a little bit cautious there with the return veil off. Monkey see, monkey do veil off is very common. But unfortunately, during that scramble, the net was already out and we got the resets. And Star going to be putting himself on the board. Hey, Wolf, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you like the format. It's definitely something I've imagined, I thought up in large parts due to Mr. One Melty Legend Makoto Fox, also of Under Night fame, who ran something pretty similar to this with current code. And I kind of stole his idea a little bit and changed it. There you go. Finds the first hit here. Puts him in the corner. You can see how gingerly Star's approaching versus Sunna. Really looking for that big moment. Finds the CS. Gonna spend it early in the cycle here. That's a really big deal because he wanted that mix-up. He wanted the ability to control the situation and he wanted to be able to play it once again. 200 meter for Star though. Big deal for Byakuya. Oh, wasn't able to do the combo because of the air-to-air, but... Oh, with shield! That's going to be Sunna's detriment right there. Nice anti-air rebeat just to push him back towards the corner. Nice pressure, good shield. That's going to be the big one here. Oh, no! Oh, no super. Very interesting. Maybe just missed the input during the freeze. Gonna spend it. It's time to set up. Just goes for a very simple throw. Gonna be able to get the combo here. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say with full combo that was gonna be CVO, but we're gonna bait the veil off with the CS. That's gonna be 2 going to Star. This is really showing a strong Byakuya here. Hey, Hollow, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Thinking about doing this regularly in the future until I come up with something different. You know, I was wanting to always, you know, I did the same character thing with Garm and Mark. And like, I found that to be a lot of fun too. But until I come up with something different, I don't want to force it. You know what I mean? I don't want to be like, okay, I'm just going to make a different format for the sake of making a different format. I like this format because it's different, at least, and it promotes a different play style than just straight sort of like playing a 10v10, or sorry, a first to 10. So for the foreseeable future, yeah, I kind of want to run this format. At least it's different, you know? I don't know what else to say about that, really. Other than that, maybe I'm indulging myself a little bit too much because people seem to like it and that makes me happy. And the fact that I've created a format that people like, even if it is a derivative of somebody else's format, that makes me quite happy. So yeah. So for the foreseeable future, yeah, until I come up with something different. What is this, round robin? Thank you, Wolf, for throwing the rules in the chat. I know I should have done that like the first few times that I ran this, but yeah, those are the rules. And if you need any other explanation, I don't mind answering. Sorry, I kind of avoided this match a little bit. We got the surprise pick from Lotus on the Aurier. Woo, footsies! Wasn't able to get the full combo there. Both the thrust and the super whiffed. I think Lotus is going to stay. Oh, I was going to say Lotus is going to stick with the Vorpal cycle, but that late CS trying to find the scramble hit in order to close out the round didn't work out, but the moment afterwards did. I absolutely want to have you on again, Melody. You were really fun. You and Angel were both super duper fun to have on. Both are people that I had on really early when I first started this, and then you guys were both very easy to talk to. You guys were both very responsive to my questions as someone who has never played Hilda and had a lot of interesting thoughts and ideas on how that character was played. And you guys are I would say you guys are both very, very you guys both have different play styles, so having both you and Angel together was a real treat. So I absolutely want to have you and Angel back on again. Well, finds the hit, uses the super. Aurier privilege, getting to poke like that and side switch so naturally. Wasn't able to get the combo there. Whoop. Weird situation there with the wall bounce, but double thrust. Very comfortable to do that as well with CS behind Lotus. There you go, just gonna let it rock with the 3C, trying to chase afterwards. Nice shield. Oof, was afraid that the backdash was actually gonna give Noctis up there. But able to get the CS. Gonna spend it right there, very strong. Or I would say very good from Lotus to just sort of back up and let that CS rock. Finds just enough time to concentrate there. The Rusty Nail works out as well. We tied up 1-1 on the round count. Woo! Grid break. Yeah, gonna be really rough here. Not gonna be able to build any grid meter during most of the cycle. However, there is a chance. No, not quite. Oh no, the back tech! The back tech granting Lotus the Vorpal cycle. There you go. Good timing on the veil off during that long overhead. Oh, tried to do something really funky there with the 2C. Definitely did not expect that 2C to hit. That's for sure. Lotus or a decent? I would imagine that any character that Lotus plays will be decent. Just such a strong player. Oop, finds the first hit there. Wasn't able to get the full combo, but the control definitely going towards Lotus's favor. Oi! Spends the cycle early on, has a minor life lead there. Oh, big throw tech there from Sunna, but unfortunately walking backwards afterwards basically gave Lotus the cycle. Okay, veil off. Very nice. That's gonna break grid and getting that super in the middle of the string. CS? Oh. Overhead. Expecting some sort of air button coming in, especially from a character like Aurier. That's very common. And was shielding, looking for that air normal. Just empty jump throw. Ooh, late cancel into 2-2A. Not sure if that was on purpose or not, but wasn't fully punished, so we'll take it there. Oh, trade. Lotus trying to find that advantage there. So with the CS, oh no, finds that perfectly timed assault in the corner. Overhead. So much for Sunna to worry about with CS, but now that Vorpal trades, I imagine we're going to use that defensively. Yes, we are. Sees the red mist. Used the super to punish from half screen away, but got hit afterwards. And that's going to be Lotus taking it, who is our first player to 12 points. So, and Lotus immediately jumps out. Thank you, Lotus. You can, like we said, or Lotus, afterwards, you can totally come back and we'll do like a little first to 3. Whoever comes into... Your game crashed? I totally thought you hit the game-winning shot and you ran to the bleachers, or you ran to the what's it called? You ran to the lockers. You hit the game-winning shot in overtime away from home. You're not gonna be around in that stadium much longer. You're just like hit that shot, run into the locker room like Steph. Well, the lobby's open, so come in whenever you want, or if you want, you can wait out and have these guys play it out until 12. And then whoever's the next person that comes 12, we'll get you to play that first to 3. Gotcha. All right, dash towards the corner. Oh, no tech on the gold throw. Set up. Woo! Really like how Star plays Byakuya. There's a lot of forcing situations and then a sit and wait period. How does this work? Regard points. Basically, it's first to 12. Every win is a point, and you're playing arcade style. That's the short and quick of it. Thank you, Wolf. I appreciate it. Oh, wow. Straight into IW. 4 seconds left. Ah! Star went for it. Did not work out, but both players gonna go with very little meter into the second round. So definitely, if Star is able to find that win here, might be a point to have an advantage going into that final round. But Sunny here with the advantage, especially with Vorpal putting Byakuya in the corner here. Gonna spend it a lot of meter, but that pretty much gives up the cycle. You're gonna see Star get a little bit more aggressive. Has that meter necessary for that first cycle. Ooh, very nice. Keeps it simple there. Nice tech. Oh, actually, both players whiffed because of the veil off. A weird situation. Spends it very quickly. Cashes out on the damage. And Monkey see, Monkey do on the veil off once again. And that one did not work out for Star as Suna is able to take that one. Very weird interaction there. Both players just happen to be like probably just pixels out of range of each other. So it was just one of those things. Very reserved start from both players. Wasn't able to quite find the hit there. I like that Noctis was just trying to fix up that combo, but just wasn't kind enough to him just then. Oof. Once again, trying to put delays in his combo in order to get that to fully combo, but we almost got that hit there. Almost the first clean hit. But all of these little hits has amounted to about a 50% lead for Noctis. And able to finally get a clean hit here. Albeit had to spend CS, so wasn't able to play any of the cycle just yet. But we're Gordo. Oh, and a tie! Did not expect that. Don't see very many ties. Oh, finds the overhead. No cancel into the 2-2A or anything else, so wasn't able to get a full combo, but a lot of aggression happening from Noctis, smelling the blood, CVO. That's going to be it. Just going hard on the aggression ever since the second round start. Really looking for pushing the aggression. Something that Gordo players get to do against a lot of the casts is, you know, going to that second round with some meter. Grim Reaper into super is always going to be a threat. Ooh, Akatsuki. Star making rounds on his characters. This is, you know, on the flip side of things, right? As a character that has to get in, I do find that this matchup for Akatsuki is very, very fun. Like I said, changing your playstyle up and not playing the same way every single game is a very fun experience for me. Oh, tried to make that hard read with the parry. Did not work out. So we're playing a little bit more defensive this time. Woo! Run up Tile Crusher. Okay. Fix that up. Yes. A little bit of a delay in the combo. Wasn't able to fully get it there. But we're in that preferred position as Akatsuki. Dash C doing work. Nice gold throw. Was looking for that shield. Oh, looking for something. Another Tile Crusher. Oh, wasn't able to fully combo there, but a couple of big stray hits. 200 meter on both sides. Noctis was able to get Cycles, spins it right in his face. 2C, nothing happens. A tech throw with the assimilation. Tense. Using that fireball, trying to chase behind it. Really like that defensive 2C as well. Second time around, gets a full hit from him. Wasn't able to fully combo. Nothing after the red indication. Just a shield. Ooh, wasn't able to combo that. Nice dash into A. Gonna use that super. Air EX Tatsu so good for carrying and gives Akatsuki a very favorable position on Oki. Oh, I gotta think that was an accidental 6C, but unfortunately that maybe caused a little bit of panic as Stars. He was trying to fix up that situation. 200 meters still existing. CS gonna get the full combo with another 100 meter. That's going to be it. All right, the group got smaller, so yeah, cycles are going to be a little bit quicker. That's fine. So yeah, 4 points for Noctis. Totally didn't think about that. Last time I ran this, Masuma, who had won the who was the first winner, stuck around in the cycle or stuck around in the loop to basically just prevent people from getting wins. Sticking with the Akatsuki. I like it. There we go. Giving Suna a try on that wake up parry. Works out a little bit better than it did previously. No cancel on dash C. We're mixing up that offensive press that Akatsuki is so good at once he gets in range. Oh, pick it up. Very nice. Oh, keeps it simple on the combo. Nice. 5A, 2A delay. Love those little bits of delay that Akatsuki gets to do. That offensive pressure can be so difficult for characters that don't have fast buttons and maybe have to commit to something a little bit more risky. Well, trying to get a little bit fancy there. Suna reacting on the second one. Overhead. Wasn't able to get that nice combo. UNICLR combo is a little bit hard to do, but super duper nice. Oh, just an Tatsu. Nice, well-spaced air fireball. Suna really kind of finding a difficult time to get a full sort of moment for themselves. Dash up, taking that positioning. Time to use Thanatos just for that spacing. You see a Star pretty comfortable tossing fireballs back here with this much of a life lead. Was able to take that game there. As we see, Star is going to try to get his win back here from Noctis on the Akatsuki. I do think that this matchup is quite fine for Akatsuki. Maybe even a little advantageous. But it's not I wouldn't say it's easy either. Definitely takes a lot of playing the right way for the Akatsuki player. Definitely one of those things that I think doesn't get mentioned enough with longtime Akatsuki players is that they've definitely learned to play all of these matchups very, very well. You can see it from all the top Akatsuki players, how good they are at addressing matchups and addressing characters, addressing players, and really taking advantage of those things. Nice regular jump, just keeping Star locked down for just a moment there. Veil off on the assimilation. Grid break going to give him the cycle. Nice block on the low. I don't know if Noctis will take that trade or not. It got the worst end of damage, but the better end of meter. Probably think he will as he gets the throw. That's the round for him. Oh, more aggression from Noctis. Lot of dash forward. Getting into even the effective range of Akatsuki with no fear. Noctis wins the cycle at the last second. Gets that improved Rusty Nail and uses it immediately. Oh, trade in the favor of Noctis is able to get the full combo. Gets out of the corner as well, and the cycle once again. Well, nice rebeat, gets that whiff shield. Good use of CS though. Knew he wasn't gonna win the cycle, so just did it right there, trying to bust out offensively. BDP gonna get the full combo, almost. That's really unfortunate. Had the meter to maybe close that out there after BDP. Oops. Yeah, first big hit goes to Noctis, and a little bit later in the cycle as well, so able to win it. That's a lot of pressure here. The grid break getting the dash C on an airborne Suna. Gonna make the rest of this round really difficult. Nice confirm off the 2-2A. A perfect round, played very, very well from Noctis, and has all the meter in the world to work with. Faked, really faked pushing the situation there with just having meter in hand. It's something you've seen Noctis do once or twice now. It's basically bait the fact that he's going to use resources just to save it. Gives the opponent a little bit of hesitation. Sometimes you'll get that super to actually hit because the opponent might think they can press their luck there. Falls out, gonna get the combo. Late in the cycle, however, that combo took very long, so Suna is gonna be winning the cycle. Oh, grid break, extra damage, and that throw is going to do it. Noctis cycles around once again. Really impressive how I like that when Noctis, it's a definitely a big feel thing for Noctis, that he has the ability to sort of feel when he can really be aggressive, when he feels like the opponent's on the back foot, no matter what the matchup is, and really feel like he can press his advantage. You saw that even though he was playing against Star's Akatsuki and getting into Star's effective range as an Akatsuki player, which is something you might say that Gordeau players would be mostly avoiding, it was sort of the bravado that he had with his approach that he really took and made that matchup his own, I should say. Suna playing back-to-back strong Gordeau players here, but Star does play a little bit differently than Noctis does, and see if Suna can adjust. Nice, Senna able to win the cycle there, playing very patiently until the time was up. Oki, oh, maybe messed up the jump there. That was just very nicely anti-air to the 2C, but didn't get the full combo off it. He did get the hit afterwards. Veil off. Woo! Wake up to 2C. Just gonna back up in space. Senna really doesn't have a reason to go in right now. Yeah, and just finds that moment for that thrust. Really likes Senna playing that very patiently. Sniped. Wasn't able to get that thrust full combo, but the positioning there for Senna. Nice shields. Basically forcing. Oh, almost got that combo. Backed up afterwards. And Star actually chasing this time. And I like that quite a bit. Star basically lost that last round on maybe a little bit too much of a patience. But that was a really good jump in block on the veil off. Cycle's almost up. But Senna walking backwards gave it to Star. Might have been the safer option to begin with, to be honest, with veil off being an issue there. And then just succumb to the meaty there. Maybe expected CS or something. But Senna taking that one. Hey, Knots, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a good Thursday. Knots the God. One of my favorite players that I've had here on the show. Definitely one of my favorite Wagner players to watch. By far, without a question. And we've had Knots on a few times, so if you guys want to ever check any of that stuff out, I usually put all the VODs up on our YouTube. You can obviously check them up on Twitter. We are partnered on this channel, so all of our VODs are here to stay for good. But they're also on YouTube just in case you want ease of use or anything like that. There you go. Super nice combo. Who says Gordo doesn't do damage? Oh. Both Gordo players are just so good at using that CS. Once they see the opponent in the air, just confirming they are, and you use them B assimilation. Big shield there, gets Noctis out of a pretty bad situation. Wins the cycle as well. Thrust. Senna pretty confident with those thrusts, especially with Meter backing him up. Red missed to death. Oh, there. Senna unfortunately almost having to give up that cycle. Backdash for safety, but unfortunately gets hit afterwards once again. Positioning, pretty bad situation for Senna without Meter, but finally finds that 100. There it is. Gonna use it. Oh no, it didn't work out. 200? Didn't even need it. Simulation's gonna do it, and that's Noctis gonna take the game there. Oh, Rurik coming in. Hey, Rurik. Hope you're having a good day, man. Thanks for stopping by. There it is. The moment we've all been waiting for. I actually totally don't remember if we've seen this today just yet. But definitely one of, I should say two of, the better Gordo players that we got here in the United States facing off happen to both just be from the Midwest. Nice shield on the aiming. Woo! Noctis with a very nice read. Bah. Late in the cycle, what's gonna happen? Both players exercising their 2C right in the matchup. Catches the backdash with the aiming, gonna get the full combo because it's in the corner. Oh no! That sucks. All those grid blocks going to the dump, but Star does have a little bit of a meter lead here. Just a little bit though. I know that doesn't mean too much to a Gordo player. 100 is 100, a 200 is 200, and the character builds quite a bit with his combos. Catches the backdash with EX aiming. Oh, finds the 3C raw, gets a full combo here. Neither player having meter. Oh, assimilation going to be a big deal, but that backdash after CS combined with the assimilation, gonna get Star the cycle, gonna go for it twice in a row, get a little bit of meter. Great round from Star there as we tie it up. Noctis with a hefty lead there. It's gonna be the first person to be able to get two supers. And maybe even the cycle as well with that veil off. Got to worry about the return veil off once he gets to 100. Doesn't quite get it just yet. So not going to have to worry about that. Nice, a lot of little pressure here and there. Delayed veil off, going to get the hit. That's going to be the cycle off for Star as well. This is going to hurt. Oh, that increased veil off damage as well. Oh, doesn't get the full combo, but between the two, that was 5,000 damage. Oh, wasn't able to get the full combo. Nice tech. And just spacing out 5C, beating out Rusty Nail. The win going to Star. Love seeing a Gord get with 3C and TX assim. It's very rude. Very rude. Hey, Princess Sakura, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I know you've been around for my Atome streams. This is going to be a little bit different, but I hope you enjoy yourself nonetheless. Simulation. Gonna give that early grid lead, which isn't gonna matter after the break. One more time, good for good measure. Meaty dash C. Plus frames. Very strong aggression from Star. One more time. And I love starting with assimilation there. We got the CS gain all of that meter. Definitely influencing your decision there based on the grid meter. Might have been too big of a tell, but it working out basically meant that Star's going to go into this one with 200. Minor concentration. Oh, actually, Sunna finds it, and that's going to be a tie. Big deal for Sunna, actually. Trying to mitigate the strength of Rusty Nail in this matchup is going to be a pretty big deal. So we're both just going to go for it, and... unfortunately, oh, they tied again. Two Vorpal cycles just thrown into the wind. Oh, finds the hit. Good reaction from Sunna, unfortunately, without the full combo. CS. Oh. All right, Star. All right, Star. I see you. All right, Star. Relax. Yeah, spaced out thrusts, very difficult to deal with. Pick it up. Yes. Oh, cheeky, cheeky. Oh, wow. The plus frame CVO setup. Gonna return the favor with a casual veil off. Breaking and winning the cycle. Yeah, just gonna spend it, trying to force a mix-up. If he found the hit at all, being able to go to IWEX would have been a really good situation for Sunna. Sorry, not IWEX, just IW. Cycle for Star is trying to use it to his advantage. Gotta spend it right there. Late in the cycle, though. Unfortunately, got hit afterwards, but I will say, before that, very impressive from Sunna to wait out the cycle, basically. And the way that Star had to force the mix-up there and use CS to his advantage basically meant that he was either going to have to carry it over for another turn, or he's going to have to spend it late and almost give Sunna the situation, or give the Sunna the cycle. Generally speaking, it is you see people usually spend CS every cycle, so very smart. Although it didn't lead to the win for Sunna, I did like that thought process itself. Finds the assimilation. But Sunna still winning the cycle, spending it early on. Gonna get a lot of meter there. That first 100, very big deal for the matchup, so gonna spend it early, get that meter, and hopefully get a chance to play that cycle again. Unfortunately, wasn't able to win it because Noctis finds the big hit. Aiming whiffed, but no advantage taken just yet. Oh, trying to get cheeky. Oh, and now it's just turning into mix-ups. Oh no, it fell out! You hate to see it. You hate to see it. There you go. Finds the hit for the 2C. Love that combo as well. Gets hit by Thanatos. Wasn't able to get the full combo there. But Dash C asserting its dominance. Massive forward moving hitbox. Guess just a regular throw. That's all he's gonna need. Noctis takes this one. Heartbreak on that previous round though. Matching up once again. That's what I like to see. Whew, finds a 2C. Simulation. One more time. Stealing blocks that aren't there. Wasn't able to get that combo. But having the improved Rusty Nail in the matchup is definitely going to do wonders. Oh, that combo's sick. Hey! Oh, man. Star wasn't able to get the full combo here. Noctis is able to respond with a full veil off combo. That is going to hurt. Oh, easy 5K. But unfortunately, the Oki did not meet the quality of the previous combo, and Star was able to take the round. Anti-air 2C, gonna cross under. Oi, and a veil off late in the cycle. Cheeky, going for an assimilation instead of EX Mortal Slide. Trying to go to that next step, especially versus the opposing Gordeau player. Oh, that hit low. So, quick break. Keeping up the pressure, aiming. Aiming into dash C, so good. Plus frames into plus frames. His Noctis responds. Once again. Woo! Nice snipe. Wasn't able to get a full combo there. Trade. Both mash out, and what do you know it? 2C is the one that wins. Don't know if anybody's surprised, but it's still funny. There you go. Good reactions there. Little bit. I was going to say a little late in the CS, but that might have been exactly when he got it. Soda. Not quite. There's a chance. Wake a veil off. Oh, 6B whiffs. No punish. Oh, he does have a chance still. Veil off ticking out though, and good old trusty 2C is going to be the one that does it. Oof. All right. Oh, one more character change for Star here. Early cycle win for Sunna. Gonna spend it early in the cycle, especially with a grid break. That means that after the combo, gonna be able to build before even Star does once again. Really like watching Sunna's grid management. Hey! Hard read with the 3C. Ticked after the 2A. Very cool. Win the first run. And Sonorie with 100 meter to start the round. That's something you're always going to have to be wary of. Thanatos meaty. Try to catch the backdash with that wonderful 6B, but was actually too far. Something you don't say that often. Oi, grid break! CVO! Woof! Star trying to go in. There you go. Sets up for Thanatos. Patient play from Sunna once again. You really love how Sunna's just lording this 100 meter over Star. Maybe a little. Oh! I was going to say maybe giving Star a little bit too much room because the cycle was certainly in his favor. Wagner with CS, man. Nothing that she wants more than that. Plus frames. Oh, 5 seconds left. They need to find the hit, and they do. Oh, finds the hit. Wasn't able to get the full combo there, but Star finding that minor concentration timing. Was able to get the hit there as well. Big deal. Yeah, once again, Cinna finding a great time for the veil off. Spends it quick. Oh, returns a favor. Now it's party time. Danger mode for Wagner. Was able to get anything off the veil off, unfortunately, but that increased grid gain that you have in veil off, definitely the factor there for Star getting the cycle. An early jump C is actually the one that secures the hit. Definitely a different timing there. Asuna able to take it. Oh, did Noctis say it's 12? Did I mistake it? Oh, I have a message here. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. If I mistaked... it was supposed to be 12. Let me recount. I believe you lapped 3 times or twice. Either way, Noctis, did you want to play that first to 3 with Lotus? Sounds good. All right. If you do get that one, I should say if it's not secured just yet, but you are in the leading seat here. You know, patient play from both players who both have advantages in one way, shape, or form that can really take advantage of this positioning about 50% away from the screen there. Tried to punish the rusty nail a little bit too late on trying to punish the whiff. Gonna spend it here. Why not? With CS and another 100. Can afford to spend a little bit. 2C. Or 2-2C, I should say. Gets the full combo there. Woo! Definitely change of pace from Sunna there. The hard aggression on the round start. You have one more to win, yes. And then the first of 3. So if you get that win before anybody else gets to 12, then yeah, you'll play the first of 3 with Lotus. Veil off, 2-2C, trying to get them meaty, but tech back's gonna put him out of position. One more time, spending the rest of the veil off. Aye, very nice response there to the run up. One more time. Guess the shield, but that was so many grid blocks after 2 assimilations. Did not have enough. Whoop, that's going to be Star taking that one. So yeah, I was right. You had 3 cycles, and you're at 8 wins. So you do have 11. Math is still correct. Noctis tries to get his 12th here in the mirror, which I believe they're 1-1 in the mirror right now. So this is the rubber match, at least for the Gordeau versus Gordeau game. Noctis First one to find an aggressive. Good response to the shield, but did not get the break that he wanted. Backdash takes advantage. Noctis with the grid gain there. Very nice. Oh. Despite Noctis having the better Rusty Nail, it was Star that was able to find the hit with it. Reset with the 6B. And that was pretty much all of the life lead that that Star had, or Noctis had. Nice reaction! Nice reaction once again! Star with 3 good reactions in a row. Is gonna take that win. That was sick. Block on the overhead, very nice. Both players playing good defense in the corner versus their counterpart here. Late throw, good reaction from Star as well. Playing patiently. Rusty Nail, plus frames that close. Oh, the bait. Probably looking for that EX assimilation. Oi, does my 6B reset of my own? Inveilov is able to get that IW? Yes. Easy 4K, 4.5, my bad. That extra veil off damage, putting in work. Oh, slide all the way out, slide all the way back in. Wasn't able to get the full hit there. Star gets one more chance, but dashes right into the loving arms of Noctis, and we're tied up 1-1 on the round count. Finds the first bit of aggression. Good shield from Noctis. Gives him the ability to slide back and forth. Noctis able to win the cycle. Trying to use that improved Rusty Nail to his advantage, but finds the hit with the Grim Reaper actually in the CS. Combo length is going to make him think about trying to get some sort of throw. I believe Star knew that and going for the throw invincible EX assimilation. Soda, 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 soda. Hey! Dash all the way up. Oh! And then gets the bait on the veil off once again. So that is going to be 12 for Noctis. Congratulations to him. So let us do a first of 3 with Lotus and Noctis. So let me see if I can change this in here. Oh, sorry, just little things on the side. Sorry, I'm getting into this one a little bit late. So, just Noctis versus Lotus in a first of 3. Just a really quick for the 2 players, or first 2 players to get to 12. Wasn't able to get the assimilation, but maybe gets a little bit of the hit afterwards. Noctis able to take the first round versus Lotus. Oh, finds the teleport at the very last second. Wasn't able to get the capture, but oh, what a well-timed button from Lotus. Teleports out of the corner. Gonna set up. Good use of guard thrust there, using that Vorpal while he had it. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get anything off it just yet. Super. Yeah, just got it for the Oki, and that's going to be tying it up 1-1. meter pretty equal. So that first cycle gonna be a huge deal. A huge deal. Finds the snipe. Oh! Picks up the invalid off the no-tech. Might be invalid, but it's damaged nonetheless. Lotus will definitely take it. CS presses the advantage. Very, very nice read on the veil off. Noctis recognizing that Lotus has been pretty aggressive on the or I should say pretty active on the defensive end, and just making a great read there. Plus frames once again. Both players very high. Man, Lotus's defense on assault is so impressive. As Noctis able to get a little touch there to stop Lotus from doing a full mix-up out of there. But no meter now, very difficult situation. Gets that CS that he so desperately needs. Good block, no cancel. Very surprising for both me and Lotus. But Lotus able to find the hit there. Not gonna get the meter just yet, so there's a chance. And Lotus already setting up the next situation there. Orb, and then jump back dive kick, and that's going to be the first game that goes to Lotus. Sorry, I did not set up the score just yet. Give me one moment. There you go. Yeah, first big hit goes to Lotus. But it is really about that cycle for KotH in this matchup. So he does win the cycle here, and Lotus almost gives it up and kind of takes advantage of the fact that Noctis might have wanted to be offensive as soon as he won the Vorpal cycle, and puts his offense right after he won it. Gets the pin. Is able to get just enough damage to get that win there. Aggressive start from Noctis once again, but runs into a button from Lotus. Oh, maybe messed up something, but we got the fake jump C. Teleports away from the run-up throw once again. Does have that 200 meter. No CS just yet. Usually you want to see, or usually you see Hilda players want to be very meter efficient. They want to have CS, or sorry, they want to have Vorpal before they start spending meter. But getting a full combo with Veil off, 5.3, and has CS to boot. Gonna get all of this meter back and actually finds a place to throw that IW. Lotus with a well-timed reversal after I felt like Noctis is having all of the momentum. Plus frames, plus frames. Very common tactic for high-level Hilda players is going for that plus frame spike on the back time and time again. It's very good for them to start setting up the pin, the overhead pin, I should say. First big hit goes to Noctis, though. It's about that cycle, waits for it, gets the hit, and once again, once the cycle goes in the favor of Noctis, Lotus has a button ready for Noctis to run into. So we see him once again has to use that guard thrust. Pin once again. Gonna use that CS, trying to build as much meter as possible. Oh, finds a huge grid break there. Has 200 meter. Doesn't spend it just yet. Aiming. Very nice. Looking for that shield there with the dash up assimilation. But jump back dive kick in the corner. Gets the hit. We still have that CS though. I think Lotus was looking for that guard thrust. Didn't see it that time. And that cycle going to go over to Lotus, which is going to be a very key factor into closing out the set. Sets up with Oki. Oh, the super high dive kick. And then I don't even know which side that super hit. And that's going to be 3-0 for Lotus. Congratulations on the big win. And thank you for coming by. I really appreciate it. So we're a little bit early on time. So I'm just going to say a couple of things that I want to say. And then I'll send you guys home a little bit early. No interview after the set. Unfortunately, if Lotus wants to come in for a second and say hi, I'm totally down. But it's up to him.
Hello.
Hey, Lotus. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, thank you so much. First and foremost, thank you for coming and playing the exhibition. I asked only 3 days ago, and you jumped in, so I appreciate it tremendously.
Oh, no problem. It luckily just was lined up with my work schedule, and I was like, why not?
Wonderful. Well, hey, I really want to. I really do think that, like, when I think about how Hilda has evolved as we've gotten through Uni, it's a pretty interesting character to think about from, like, I would say we would probably talk about how, like, EL was the first, you know, sort of big blow, like, wave of Uni play in the States, and then all the way up to Claire. And, you know, no, undoubtedly Claire's her best version, but I do also think that there is a character like Hilda had a lot of players that really liked the character and really pushed that character's bound, like, further beyond just, let's say, that character getting buffs patch after patch. Like, what do you think for you specifically was, like, not the biggest buff on paper, but rather the biggest sort of, like, change in playstyle that made that character to be as good as she is right now? I think a lot of people rate that character pretty highly, in Claire at least.
So, you know, the funny part is about her is that, as far as I'm aware of, like, at least like how we had like ST for years, like she always played that way, but it took people to actually keep playing to realize that, oh wait, this character does have a 50-50, we can do this. And honestly, she didn't really rise up through the ranks and go crazy until that was found. And then Angel of Soul, you know,
yes,
she came along and she optimized, or she's seen a certain Japanese player, I think it was Metaphysical at the time. She's seen Metaphysical do FF2A to air swords. And then after that, she was like, man, I'm going to make sure I do every route with this. We're going to see how much damage it does. And I think after that, finding out that Hilda gets about like 4K average on a lot of things, bumped her up tremendously, because it's like, hey, check this zoner that's doing like 80% stuff on the screen, and then she hits you once and it's like this fat chunk of damage that just happens, you know. Yeah, that's what really moved her up.
That's a big deal. And I say this a lot as just somebody who plays, like, I've played Guilty Gear my whole life. I have played Tekken very recently. That's something that I have just picked up with Tekken 7, so not very long, but I put a lot of work into that one, and KOF a little bit longer. I say that Under Night players definitely think about the game in a different way, because unlike any other game, Under Night players think of their game in sort of like a very, very concrete, not concrete, but let's say a very detailed resource management game. It's one of those games where if you look at players, like Guilty Gear players don't think this way. Guilty Gear players spend meter because they have meter. Like KOF players dump meter because they can kill somebody, or they just do it because it you know, it's required for a combo or something like that. But Under Night players really think about their meter as in, like, this is how much meter I get in the matchup. This is how much meter I get for my combos. I need to start aggression here. It's way, way more detailed than other games. And that's a big deal for Hilda specifically, because Hilda's, because of her Vorpal trait.
So, like, I want to touch up on that.
Sure.
Like, the reason why it seems like the reason why Uni is so resource based is because simply of the fact that, like, everything matters in terms of you having CS. It makes stagger pressure slash throw pressure significantly weaker, especially if you have a character with DP. It really shuts that game plan down. Or like you said, some characters' vorpal traits literally make the character basically Hilda. Or you have some characters like Yuzu who literally doesn't really need to put a vorpal trait, nor does she really need CS. It doesn't really like work with her. But the thing is that like, imagine trying to fight Yuzu or get in on Yuzu, and you don't have that resource. Like, she's literally just keeping you from having the resource. Like, that's why I think what makes Yuzu really cool, or like the good Yuzu players, because it's like they don't even use CS unless it's like they have to. But like, they don't use CS. They literally just hoard it just so you don't have it. It's a resource you literally just can't use. And that's the same thing I try to do with Hilda as well. Is that like, I try not to use CS. It's like I literally really have to. I feel like it's going to work. But like, besides like the vorpal trait, like, I literally just keep it on Hilda because I don't want my opponent to be able to CS and then do like a DP, and then there's like this whole momentum shift happens.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool way to envision grid, I think, because there's it's something that I take a lot into consideration when I watch gameplay. I think actually, like, some parts of me really think that I maybe focus a little bit too much on grid, but at the same time, I think that it tells a lot of stories in terms of how people play, right? Lording grid over opponent, using grid in certain moments like early in the cycle or late in the cycle can really tell you a lot about how a character plays or the actions that are possible or common that will happen next. So that's very cool to hear you. Like, that's sort of a thing that you think about, is like holding that grid, as opposed to a lot of characters who really want to use that CS for sort of an advantage of any sort. Very cool. All right, let me ask you a little bit about your future in terms of like tournaments and stuff like that. You thinking about going to Combo Breaker at all?
I'm definitely going to Combo Breaker.
Absolutely.
100%. That's my city, you know?
Absolutely.
For me not to go.
I mean, you know, life happens. I don't want to be presumptuous or anything like that. So very cool. So what do you, let me ask what we got Texas Showdown coming around, which is going to be, I think, like, not the biggest tournament per se, but it is one of the first offline majors that we're going to have. And I think a lot of different players are flying out for that one. I'm excited just to watch it for that. We're sort of transitioning now in that case from an online to an offline environment. What do you kind of expect to see from a tournament like Texas Showdown and then subsequently like Combo Breaker?
I expect to see, I'm trying to put this in like the nicest terms possible. I expect to see all the talk of, hey, this person's doing net play this, or hey, this person wouldn't survive in offline environment because it's net play. Granted, Climax was one of them, but the thing is that Combo Breaker brings in a lot of international play as well. Right. You know, they'd be from different countries. So I want to see all those like people that started in the COVID era. I'm so sorry you guys started the COVID era. Jeez. But all the people that started in the COVID era and everything, I'm gonna say this gives them another go around or another like chance. Say, okay, we did Climax a little bit, but now we know what's going on. Let's do Combo Breaker, and let's show them, like, you know, we didn't just have these net play tactics, or like, you know, net play wasn't the whole source of how we like grew up and everything. That's what I'm really looking forward to, especially with a lot of the older players, like, you know, Silent going to Texas Showdown, you know, the cool Masoma going, or like Knots and stuff. Knots is something I actually really want to see a Combo Breaker as well again, because I want to, like, granted, I've been hearing a lot of talk about Knots and how his Wagner is so crazy. He did do good Climax. I want to see him do it again at Combo Breaker, honestly.
Absolutely.
That's the stuff I kind of want to see at Combo Breaker. I'm not personally playing in Uni right now in Combo Breaker, I think, but I might change my mind within like probably next week, but we'll see. We'll see.
Sure, absolutely. I know you're putting a lot of focus on Melty, so I totally don't blame you there. But I appreciate you, like, still, even without that mega focus, you still joined the exhibition. I appreciate it.
Oh, you signed up, Melody? Okay, hold on. I might have to sign up now.
Do it for the Hilda players across the board.
People, you know what's so crazy is that so many people want me to do this mirror match, and at this point, it's like I'm being so bullied into this, and it's so crazy. Like,
Hilda players bullying other Hilda players. You hate to see it.
Classic.
You hate to see it. That's really cool though. I mean, of course, everybody wants to bully you into playing because you're so good, and everybody loves watching you play. So it's like, of course we're gonna bully you. We're the ones who get to win out of that. We get to watch you play. That's great.
Suffering because Untold's gonna hit me once, I'm gonna lose. Like, yeah, this is what I wanted.
Everybody wants to watch Hilla lose. 100% chance in the mirror.
True.
Understandable. But I also get to, if I get to watch Melody and Lotus play against each other, I get to watch two great Hilda players play. So I'm winning. I don't care either way.
I do too. Especially on my side. It's okay though. But yeah, I'll be a combo breaker. Like with anyone, if anyone wants to play casuals or anything, I'm always down for it. I'm never want to say no.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I'm really looking forward to both offline events. I think personally, what we're going to see from, especially because I think there's going to be a lot of repeat players from Texas Showdown to Combo Breaker, considering that it's Texas, and then it'll be, you know, up in Chicago, so not too far. That we'll probably see many cobwebs shaken off for a lot of players. And this sort of being a, no offense to Texas Showdown, but a testing ground for what then will be a really, really big undernight tournament in Chicago at Combo Breaker.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
I just agree with that. It depends because, like, you know, before this whole COVID thing, I think 2019 was with ST.
Yeah.
Everything. We had like 340 plus or something like that.
So yeah, 300 plus for sure.
Yeah. So like, if we can get close to those numbers again for Clear, I'd be really happy with that, honestly.
Yeah, Claire definitely. You know, I seem a little bit biased saying this on the Axis channel, but like, Claire definitely got hurt by its unfortunately very, very poor timing. Probably like worst timing, like right up there next to Grand Blue in terms of like just worst possible timing ever. But it is what it is. Hopefully we can still enjoy the game coming into Combo Breaker and get some really good games out of it. I know that, you know, some people have come and gone because of the pandemic. It's understandable. I ain't trying to like blow anybody up over it because, you know, it's the truth and it's real. Like, I ain't gonna, you know, beat around the bush. It's real, and we gotta accept that for sure. But regardless of that, there's all of those cats who really put in the time and the effort during that time. You know, running net play locals, playing people around them, doing the best that they can with delay base. You got to applaud them for that, and I think I'm really looking forward to see those new players start showing up and like putting everybody and putting some people on notice, even if it is, you know, quote unquote net play tactics. If you're not ready for it, you're gonna get hit by it.
Yep. That's what I'm excited for.
That's
what I'm excited for.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Just getting those maybe those mid-level players that are now high-level players because of the work they put in, or maybe a new name altogether. Who knows?
I need to see like Garfield come to Combo Breaker. I'm not sure if they're coming to Combo Breaker, but I need to see if like Garfield is coming. I would really love for Garfield to attend one of these when I come in July.
Absolutely, absolutely. Both Garm and Mark are very nice people, so I'd love to see him out there and put some work in. For sure. Hey, real quick, Lotus, go ahead and if you want to plug anything or say anything, you know, tagline it up. I don't care. You got a minute to minute of the floor.
I'm gonna say shout outs to all my followers on Twitter, everybody that I love. You know, I love you all the time. Please keep playing more Uni, you know, show it off, celebrate it, whatever you want to do with it. Don't give up on the game just as the netcode is horrible. Sadly, I know, but try to make the best of it.
Yeah, I know.
And honestly, I hope to see you all at Combo Breaker. Come in, and please don't be sick coming in, please. Other than that, I think that is all. Follow my Twitch as well, because I am starting to stream a little bit more and more often. And I think after that, that is all.
All right. I have to address the stream and then send everybody away. But first off, thank you, Lotus. Appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Have a good one. All right. You and me, chat. Thank you, Lotus, for doing a little winners interview real quick. I actually, more and more as I get through doing this. I know, like, originally when I first started doing the exhibitions, I had less people on, but I had a little bit more talking. But sometimes I kind of feel bad asking so much from players. Like, I'm not only asking you to show up at a specific time on a specific date to play Under Night on on delayed netcode, but I'm also giving you these dumbass rules that everybody follows so efficiently that it just blows me away every single time. So, and then I'm like, oh yeah, also sit and talk with me. But Lotus was very kind enough to oblige. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the other players who came through. Both, I should say, Sunna, Star, and Lotus, who all came through and put on a really good show. That was really fun. Hopefully we can get one more. I'm not sure. I have to double check how that Thursday falls, whether it will be before Combo Breaker or after. But I am hoping that at the minimum we have something to show off for Under Night next month, especially with it going to be so close to Combo Breaker. Quick plug before we get into that. Next week we're going to be doing Rico London. So we'll be doing Rico London, which is a single player / co-op FPS about clearing rooms in a roguelike style. And there is a new challenge mode that is exclusive to the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X versions of Rico London. Just sort of testing your skills in a little bit of a different way. So I'll be having that on stream when it releases on April 28th for Xbox One, Xbox Series X. If you don't have those and you just want to get the game without that exclusive, it is available also on PC, Switch, and PS4 if you guys want to grab that. So I'll see you guys that next week. Over this weekend, you'll be seeing Under Night action from Texas Showdown with a lot of the people that we got to actually see last King of the Hill, which is players that Lotus mentioned, including Silent and Masuma and Knots. I'm really looking forward to watching them play because they're all really, 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 really freaking good. And so I'm very excited to watch Texas try to defend the house. There's a lot of pride in Texas, and a lot of pride with Texas Showdown, and a lot of pride with that fighting game community in general. And so they're definitely going to put their dukes up and give it all as they're worth. Thank you guys for stopping by. That's the end of the stream. I will have these VODs up as soon as possible for people to study. Until then, I'll see you guys next Thursday. Please watch Texas Showdown. There's going to be a fantastic Under Night tournament. And if you're not going to play some video games this week, at least watch some video games. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you guys in the chat there at Texas Showdown. And that'll be all. Take it easy, y'all.